What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In front of me is the trade that I took to make about $2,000 on my live account. A lot of people took this trade with me because I did publicly alert on Twitter, and I'm just going to be reviewing it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before we get started, I do just want to show you some proof. Okay, basically, here was my executions. I'd already scaled one off here, and then we ended up gapping up here way higher than I expected. So here's my limit. And when I actually sold, the market gapped up that night like $1,000 higher than I expected. So this is my entry. This is the play. The indicator did alert this, and you kind of see, here's a little more proof because I know you guys want that. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just get into it. So I basically called this trade. And if we go back on Twitter, I gave this an A+ setup in live time at 8:24 a.m. on June 6, 2025. And at the time, the chart entry had just triggered, okay, and it retraced a little bit, and then it just jumped right up. Okay, I said swept daily sell side inside fair value gap, and then we had an inversion fair value gap with a, very V-shaped recovery. Now, if we look in the chart in hindsight, a lot of people were making fun of me for taking partials on this trade. They go, why don't you just hold for the second TP? Well, I'm not going to say anything now, but you can see what happened in hindsight, and you can see this is why I always take partials and why I always emphasize taking partials no matter what. But let's just start on why it was an A+ setup first of all. If you guys go to my iFVG ratings guide, which you can get in the link in the description, you can see that the ratings guide will show you that this requires a sweep of sell side, a delivery from fair value gap, and a discount. And you can see this trade had all of those criteria checked off. We swept the low. We came into discount of this impulse leg right here, and we delivered out of an hourly fair value gap right here, as you can see, and the indicator did mark it, which is super nice too. Now, the first thing I liked about this trade was this. Do you see how this candle comes off of this fair value gap with a giant wick right here? To me, this is a super bullish reaction, and if you're using order flow, if you're using bookmap, if you're using any of that, no matter what you're using, this is going to be a bullish candle, and you can just tell just by looking at the candle. So you don't really need to see bookmap or order flow to look at that. But I'm sure if you did look at like a book flow or bookmap or whatever you want to call it, or footprints, I'm sure there's a lot of buying here, and I'm pretty sure it probably supported the way the candle looked. The second reason I liked it is because of how quickly we end up V-shaping back above this death candle. Just think about it. If we ever death candle like this back into a daily fair value gap and we instantly start pumping back over it, think about how many people are actually losing their positions and getting stopped out, because no retail trader is making this candle. It's only giant players. So the second you see this V shape back up, that means these giant players are now out of the position, or two, they're getting stopped out, because there's no way we'd be pumping this quickly back up without that being the case. And this is what causes me to like inversion so much and causes me to understand that this is going to be a good trade. Now, on the way back up here, we got a really nice close. It didn't close way up here, which is nice. We closed right here. And I ended up taking it on a futures account, not crypto. And I basically just took BTC1 exclamation point, and I just took the micros. Now, right when we closed, I'm like, okay, this is a good entry. I did get in a little lower because basically I got filled after we closed above, and I had to go on my broker and log in and do the orders and everything. So we were actually pulling back at the time, and I moved my stop to break even right here. So let's just replay the trade. Okay, I like this. Good candles. I'm entering. Boom. I have my break even target. Break even's right here. Play the trade. Not going to break even yet. Okay, here's where I want to break even. And this is a little more advanced, but the reason I want to break even here is because theoretically, if we're truly going to go up at this point, why in the world would you not go break even when it came within ticks of where the actual break even trade is? Especially when you're already up like 1R. Like if I'm up 1R and we're within ticks of where the break even point is or should be, I'm going break even. Because think about it. We just put in a order block here, right? We just put in an order block. There's no reason we should be retracing all the way below this order block back to my entry and then back up again. That just doesn't make any sense. So I go break even there mainly because very obvious high. It stands out. If you back away from your screen 10 feet, you can still see it. And there's an order block here. So I thought that should both support price. So we keep playing market. We ended up holding the B perfectly. Come up here, gets a little choppy. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I trail my stop below this? Here's the thing. I don't trail my stop below this because, in my opinion, this is the true support, the order block. I don't want to trail my stop this early, especially because we could get bad price action, especially because this is overnight. If it was like during the day, maybe. But to be honest, this was true support, in my opinion. And I already had such a good entry that there's no point in, trailing my stop that early. Okay. So that's kind of why I didn't trail there. And then all of a sudden, I wake up the next day and my order gets smacked that morning, right? My first contract gets smacked. And I got filled higher than I expected because of how big the candle was. So that was super nice. And we ended up gapping up that night as well at 4 o'clock. And we just gapped up here. And basically, because I was in futures, we gapped up from 5 to 6 p.m. So when I sold my position at 6 when we gapped up, I sold way higher than I expected to. I was actually expecting to sell here, but I sold like way up here. So it was like an extra $1,000 or something. I don't know what it was exactly, but you can see it was super nice. And this is where you want to trail your stop. Okay, this is where you want to trail your stop. Why? Because if we're going to put in a daily gap like this, there's no reason we should even come close to under this daily gap. So this is where it might be a good idea to trail your stop to a little below a daily gap, because if price is truly bullish, how many times have you ever seen price do this? Never. Okay, it does not do that. It's going to react to the daily gap if price is truly bullish, and you can see it just wrecked that daily fair value gap. And did it save me from losing a little more? Yes, it did. Right, so it saved me from losing a little more, which is super nice. And we ended up hitting the entry, going back up, and then since then, honestly, Bitcoin has just been garbage. We, didn't really do much since then. We're still kind of at the first entry, but why would you want to be in the trade at this point? So that's a very, honest review on, why I like the trade. But the main reason I liked it is because it was a discount. We delivered from the fair value gap. The indicator caught it. And if you do want this indicator, I've been using it for like daily swings, and it's been working really well. So check out the link in the description if you're interested. And yeah, mainly just because momentum and the V shape, and it looked really good. And I'm going to be honest, I have a lot of screen time. So I've seen this setup thousands of times. And I'm sharing it with you because you're going to start seeing this setup thousands of times, and you're going to start building that conviction and finding this yourself. I have a free bootcamp on YouTube. I have a strategy playlist. It's called My Strategy in my playlist. That's how my model works. And I even have a mentorship, which is a little more pricey, but it is more one-on-one. So if you're interested in that, just book a call. And that's basically what I have to offer. I do appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to use code DODGY for a discount on Apex. About, I don't know, at the time I'm uploading this video, I don't know what the discount's going to be, but what I'd recommend doing is trial my indicator, use an Apex account, and see if you can pass an Apex account with the indicator. I have other videos that kind of showcase on how you might want to use a strategy for that. And that's going to be it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.